What's up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, everybody out there? It's Fieldpiece, and I'm back. I've been gone for a while. YouTube's demonetized my videos and killed my view count by a good amount, but hey, I'm gonna get started back again, and we're gonna start doing some pretty awesome stuff. So it's brand new. This is an 8 CFM heat pump, refrigeration vacuum pump. This, if I'm not mistaken, will hold, and you only need 8 ounces of oil for the system to run. 8 ounces. It says it right here, 8 ounces. 237 milliliters, and it's vacuum pump oil. So it comes with some vacuum pump oil there, some literature. Vacuum pump was run quick oil change system, so you can change the oil while you're in the middle of doing a vacuum. So what I've got here is a vacuum pump gauge, and this thing is designed to measure from 760,000 microns atmospheric pressure to 1 micron. Now, I've never seen that thing ever go below 50 microns, I think, and that was with a new vacuum pump. They say this one specifically can handle all the way down to 15 microns, which I don't believe it. I don't believe it. We're going to put it to the test. So I guess you just put this the extra container has a spot here, a gas ballast valve, and it's got the power on and off switch. Oil fill and your vent exhaust. You actually got a nut that you can connect to it. That's pretty interesting. I wonder what that's exactly for. So I'm guessing this is where you fill the oil, and the front is visible zone of the oil itself. So you can drain the oil here with this valve. Oopsie, we do not want that getting on the table. So I poured just a little bit out. It's been tested apparently. So, oh, I just got that on the table. Look at that. Oh, what a catastrophe. Watch that on the pants, unfortunately. So that couldn't have been worse. So I guess you fill it right here. It looks pretty much like an excellent way to fill it. So I just fill it here. And bam, there you go. So you fill it there, and then you can put the container right here. And you put the container inside. And when you want to drain it, it drains into this container, and then you can fill it after it's drained, and you don't even have to turn the pump off. So you just drain it, fill it after it's drained, and bam, you're good to go. So the ports for a vacuum pump, you know, you've got 2 3/8, 1/2 inch, and 1 1/4 size adapter. And this gauge attaches to a quarter size adapter. And we're going to go ahead and connect this gauge. This gauge goes here. I'm going to get an extension cord and we're going to plug it in. So it's probably a good idea to put the cover on. Oh, it's even got LEDs to show you your oil fill. It lights up when it's plugged in. Alright, so the power switch is directly on the back. And anytime you turn this system off, it bleeds back through, and that kind of sucks actually, because this old junk vacuum pump I've got, this old junker, it has a valve to turn off, and I use that valve almost every time I pull vacuum. I mean, that just kind of sucks really bad that if you lose power or turn it off, there's no valve on it. And especially for the price of $500 plus tax, this thing should have a valve on it. It's just a terrible, terrible design without a valve. So it's got a drain valve, which is nice. First time I've ever seen one, because before you always had to just unscrew the cap on this old one, and it would drain. But since it don't have a valve, it's going to leak every time you turn the power off. That's bull. I don't like it. Let's just test this really old vacuum pump. And I haven't actually changed the oil in this one since I put it on use, so it probably will not drain all the way, down to even 50 microns. But it's pretty old. We're going to see how it works. Thank you. 385, 420. See, it jumps around a little bit with this type of pump. Directly fitted onto it, so it really just depends on how the system works. But it's pretty clear it's not going to pull it down nowhere near as fast as this. But the general idea with this type of pump, I can turn it off without losing my vacuum. Well, at least it used to be able to turn off without losing the vacuum. But unfortunately, the valve is probably leaking a little, or a lot. It's leaking a lot. To get it back up to those microns, it's definitely leaking. So that might be a good reason why it won't pull it all the way down, because it's leaking. So, in my opinion, this is overpriced super fast vacuum pump versus a Robinetta. This one is about $150, $200 cheaper. It comes with a valve. Now, why in the world would they not build, a valve into this machine, which, obviously is one of the most expensive vacuum pumps on the market, and it doesn't even have a valve on it. And if you go buy a junk valve to, bolt down to that thing, it just, another piece of something that could possibly break, and you won't be able to tell unless you actually tested it. And you can't seal it off because there's no valve to find out if it's leaking there. So if you wanted to put a valve on there, there's no good way to test if the valve is leaking. So you had to use your manifold set as a valve, which is doable, but it's unacceptable in my opinion. I've been using this vacuum pump for 10 years, and it's obviously showing that it'll pull it down to 500 microns, but it's definitely leaking here. So whenever I'm running, it doesn't appear to be too bad, but it's leaking obviously. So basically, in my opinion, it's an overpriced speed demon. Most vacuum pumps today have a valve, and why this one doesn't have a valve, it's beyond me. Or maybe they just said valves will leak eventually, and they don't want to maintain, fixing them. So if you did have a leak here, the only way you could test it is to try to pull it down to 17 microns, what I got this one down to. And unfortunately, that's not everybody's going to have a micron gauge. Not everybody likes, keeping this type of equipment around. The micron gauge for me is pretty important. I will not be doing systems without it. But I do have the fastest vacuum pump that you can get. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a shutoff valve, which is, maybe they could just send you one that came with it, that could come with it, or something, because this is, kind of, ludicrous to me. It's just ludicrous. Thank you, and see you next time. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. There's lots more content coming. Click the subscribe button below. Make sure you come back for more, because there's great content always coming up every day in this channel. See you next time. Peace.